Ombudsman Remulla says he will no longer ask the Senate to implement a 2016 dismissal order against Senator Joel Villanueva following the revelation of what he tags as a secret decision. Remulla earlier said on Thursday, October 23, that he would write to Senate President Tito Soto to enforce Villanueva's dismissal from public office. This stems from the Senate's alleged failure to implement a 2016 order dismissing the senator. However, Remulla says that after declaring his intent to pursue the dismissal, a decision signed by his predecessor Samuel Martirez suddenly surfaced, reversing the 2016 order.
They only did it now, after all the talk, all of us thinking that this order still had to be enforced. Suddenly they come up with this. I think that it's something that raising more questions than answers.
According to Remulla, no one knew about the Martirez decision reversing the 2016 order, including people close to the Ombudsman's office. Remulla then says he will study the reversal and why it supposedly only showed up now. In a message to reporters Thursday, Villanueva shares copies of certifications from the Office of the Ombudsman and the Sandigan Bayan. The certification from the Ombudsman shows Villanueva has no pending criminal or administrative cases. The other document from the Sandigan Bayan shows he is not an accused or defendant in any court case. Both documents were issued on September 10, 2025. However, Villanueva does not provide explanations regarding the documents he sent to the media. Shortly after sending the documents, he only describes the issue as harassment, saying it was self-explanatory. When the Inquirer pressed him to explain why he requested the recently issued documents, Villanueva says he anticipated possible harassment against him. In 2016, former Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales ordered Villanueva's dismissal from public service over his administrative liability in the allegedly anomalous use of his Priority Development Assistance Fund allocation as a House member. This stemmed from his indictment for malversation, graft, and falsification of public documents over the allegedly anomalous disbursement of his 10 million peso PDAF when he was a party list representative. The Senate at the time did not implement the dismissal order against Villanueva, saying the Ombudsman lacks jurisdiction over members of Congress. Independent Commission for Infrastructure Chair Andres Reyes says the Commission must first study and draft its rules of procedure and parameters before it can live stream its hearings. This comes after Andres announced in the Senate on Wednesday, October 22, that it would live stream its investigative proceedings into the anomalous flood control projects beginning next week. In a statement on Thursday, October 23, Reyes says the body is pushing to live stream the hearings as soon as possible, following public clamor for more transparency. The ICI chair likewise mentions the previous stance of the Commission to keep its proceedings confidential to avoid trial by publicity, political grandstanding, sensationalism, and disinformation. Reyes says these concerns remain valid and protecting the integrity of the investigation is still paramount. He adds that evidence and testimonies must undergo thorough verification before the ICI can send referrals to the Office of the Ombudsman. Meanwhile, ICI Executive Director Brian Keith Hosaka says there is no scheduled hearing at the ICI next week. The ICI is currently investigating anomalies in infrastructure projects across the country. Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary Vince Dizon says papers on flood control projects are protected in the agency's central office. A fire broke out in the DPWH Bureau of Research and Standards building in Quezon City on Wednesday afternoon, October 22. The DPWH noted that the BRS is responsible for the conduct of research, studies, pilot testing, and formulation of policies for government infrastructure projects. Shortly after the fire, the DPWH confirmed that no documents related to the ongoing investigation into the flood control anomalies were in the said building. In a press conference on Thursday, October 23, Dizon says the documents affected by the fire are all digitally backed up. When asked where the papers for flood control projects are located, Dizon says that they are all secured in the DPWH central office.
Wala tayong nakikitang critical na dokumento dito, no, na which may be critical in the ongoing investigation. And plus, add to the fact na all of them are backed up by scanned copies.
In the same press conference, newly appointed Undersecretary Lara Esquivel says that some of the documents affected by the fire include manuals, field testing reports, and procurement reports, among others. Esquivel then clarifies that the procurement documents are documents of the BRS office, possibly for materials they acquired. She also notes that these documents are scanned and backed up in the agency's online and physical drives.
We have mainly manuals. We have the ASTM references, ACI, JICA manuals, design guidelines, and all the standard specification of pay items. For the Technical Services Division, we have calibration reports. 2022 onwards, all our documents. soil and rock classification reports, technical specification certification, material sources reports, field testing reports, procurement documents, inventory reports, training-related documents, and the pilot research projects. We have also in the materials testing division the training certificates, training materials for material testing technology and laboratory technician courses, star rating reports for regional and district materials testing laboratories, the quality management system compliance documents, requests and reports for inspection of testing laboratories and batching plants, requests and reports for technical evaluation of laboratory equipment, recent various correspondence related to the various functions of the Materials Testing Division, calibration reports of Materials Testing Division equipment, and other personal files of the employees of the Materials Testing Division.
The Bureau of Fire Protection reported that the fire was caused by a short circuit in the ceiling of the records section located in the third floor of the building. According to Dizon, the BFP's report corrects the initial findings of the DPWH that the blaze started when a computer unit at the Materials Testing Division reportedly exploded. When asked if the intent to affect any probe into anomalies of flood control projects can now be ruled out, Dizon says that the agency is still investigating with the BFP as the reports are not yet final.
Right now, we will take the facts as they are today, but the investigation is still ongoing. So we're working with the BFP to still investigate. And once there's a final report, then that's the only time we will rule out anything.
The Ombudsman earlier asked the National Bureau of Investigation and the BFP to investigate if arson or any other act was committed behind the office fire. The Pasig City Regional Trial Court denies the request for hospital arrest of televangelist Apollo Quiboloy. In an order made public Thursday, October 23, the court denies the motion for lack of merit. In his request, Quiboloy, through his lawyer, had asked the court to place him under hospital arrest either at the Philippine Heart Center or the Medical City. He cited ailments including persistent shortness of breath, accompanied by intermittent fever, muscle pain, and cough while in detention at the Pasig City Jail. His request also mentioned that he also suffers from several conditions including hypertension, diabetes mellitus type 2, and chronic kidney disease, among others. Considering his health condition as well as his advanced age of 75, he was already hospitalized once last year and twice this year. In denying his request, the court leaned heavily on the September 30, 2025 progress report submitted by Pasig City Jail Superintendent Lloyd Gonzaga. The report contained a clinical abstract of Quiboloy's attending physician at the Pasig City General Hospital, as well as his medical and diagnostic examinations at the Heart Center. Based on the clinical abstract, Quiboloy's vital signs have improved and he no longer complained of his health as of September 24. The court also points out that Quiboloy was already cleared for discharge by the pulmonary, cardiology, and nephrology services on September 25 and 26. According to the court, the records establish that his medical needs are being adequately and consistently attended to while in the custody of the Pasig City Jail. It adds that Quiboloy continues to receive appropriate, timely, and sufficient medical care at the Pasig City General Hospital under the supervision of competent medical professionals. Quiboloy and 4 other Kingdom of Jesus Christ associates are facing qualified human trafficking charges before the Pasig court.